Well, we seem to fancy stuff kind of failed me there for a bit. Welcome everybody. That was odd. As always, nothing always goes perfectly smoothly with everything I do here. But welcome. I might be waiting for a few friends here. Going to maybe send a little message out. Bear with me for a second. Hello, Unicorn Coder. Seem to have had a little little failures here. Get things set up, but I am frantically trying to fix stuff. Unicorn Coder, since you're always reliable for my tech support, do you hear any actual music right now? Let me know if you do or not, because I'm a little nervous. But yes, Shannon, you made it. Oh my gosh. Oh, good. Oh, no music. Okay, well, we've got a little failure here. No music. Okay. That's embarrassing. Shannon's first time tuning to one of my live streams and my fancy setup has completely borked. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. We are going to figure this out somehow, some way. Oh, I see that is there. Yeah. Okay, well, you're about to see some real-time streaming troubleshooting, I guess, because this is gonna nag me if I don't fix this. Let's make sure my fancy buttons work. Okay, well that works at least. Now, all right. So for those that are tuning in for the first time, like Shannon or others, I go pretty crazy with my setup here. And I do Linux for everything, including my sound routing, which apparently has gone crazy here. There is supposed to be stuff routed there.
Jeremy underscore data raided my stream with 2 viewers.
Hello, Jeremy. Welcome. We are trying to figure out why in the world my OBS setup has gone nuts with stuff, but I am about to do some troubleshooting on the fly. Boy, that sure looks like it should be active. It's how these things go sometimes when you have like 2 minutes almost to prep for it and something went crazy. So I am guessing nobody is still able to hear any sound, right? Is that kind of the case here? I'm going to really get into the depths of my Linux land. Yep, no music at the moment. Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna try some stuff, folks. So this is what we will be working on tonight: is some Shiny development with something that actually Shannon had a great suggestion about. But let's put this aside for a moment. We are going to close this out. We are going to figure out why my fancy OBS tricks are not working at the moment. You're not going to see anything confidential here, but this is my bash scripting for all my OBS stuff, so don't get too nervous seeing this. There's a lot of things happening. So music player, daemon, chromium. Yeah, there's a lot of bash here, folks, so don't get nervous. But that... Okay, we're gonna run that manually. So that is sync. Where am I? All right. Sync move sh music player daemon music. We're out of that. Okay, we're in business there. Now we're gonna switch to my local music. And we're gonna play that and see if that shows up. Okay, I got way too many windows open. Story of my life. Bring this back. All right, we're gonna change to the playlist. Okay, can anybody confirm that you're hearing music now? My hope is yes. Oh, okay. Okay. I must have rebooted the thing. Yeah, I know, Jeremy. I was hoping to, you know, obviously do these things earlier, but life is life. Okay, so let's code. Yeah, let's do it. Thank you, Eder Chincho. Sorry, I probably butchered that. My mind is elsewhere after the troubleshooting. All right, let's get back to... sorry, I gotta move my mouse here. I promise I do have stuff kind of thought about in my head. Just gotta reorient myself here. Go back to shinycal, and then we'll go to Firefox and talk about what we're... Oh, yeah, Mariah, sorry for that. But we did get a raid from Jeremy here, so we've been raided. Yes, thank you for the thought, though. So what we're doing tonight is we are going to go back to one of the apps that many of you saw me develop basically live on this stream, with respect to us streamers, I guess, and that is shinycal. The calendar where I have learned way more about dealing with time zones than I ever thought I would. But we ended up making pretty nice MVP, I would say, of when data science streamers, no matter if you're in the R world or Python or wherever else, Julia, we're all welcome here, where we can see based on the Twitch schedule API when everybody's streaming. So here I am right here today, and yes, Unicorn Coder, I promise you I will put in the dark mode toggle in the app at some point. I just haven't yet. You have that issue in the repo. I need to get to that. Anyway, now where does this relate to what I want to work on today? So one thing that I have done at work projects to help with not only the user experience of my app's user base, but also frankly me as the developer and sometimes system owner in the IT lingo, is I want to have as less friction as possible for the users to tell me when something breaks or they're thinking something should be in the app that's not there already, and be able to notify me without cluttering my email inbox or randomly sending me a message on Microsoft Teams or whatever. For feedback on app usage, I want that to be reported like we would for any other software project, and that would be on the issue tracker if it's on, say, GitHub. So of course shinycal, which I launched earlier this year, or no, last year, what am I saying? Yeah, it's 2022 now. I launched last year, and like any of my things I develop, I have issues for things that I want to fix, maybe things users have reported. Certainly shout out to Unicorn Coder, Daniel, others that have reported things either on this tracker or the tracker for the streamer data automated pipeline. yes, I have many issues, and boy, if you don't want to know what the issues I had earlier this week, but we may hear about it whether I like it or not. But wouldn't it be cool if instead of telling them, oh, wait, you have an issue? Okay, well, point your browser to github.com/our-podcast.
Who's ready for story time with
Our podcast.
baby?
I knew it. I knew it was coming. I kind of teased it. Okay, let me finish my thought. Then we're gonna go there, because boy, do I have stuff to tell after what happened a couple of days ago. So anyway, instead of making a user like open up a new tab in the browser, go to GitHub, file an issue, and maybe in organizations like mine where I work, not everybody that uses my app will actually have access to GitHub, and in particular the repo where my app is stored. There are reasons for that. We don't really have to get into it tonight. So why make them go through an access request that I have to approve anyway, and then they go into GitHub and they file an issue, and by that point maybe they forgot about all the details of it. It might be too far away from their mind. What if instead, in the app itself, they fill out a simple contact form, if you will, maybe a couple fields to dynamically populate, maybe a label for it, give it a title, give it a narrative around it, and then they push a button and it automatically goes here. That's what we're going to do tonight, if everything goes to plan, is leverage a technique that I referenced in the episode 70 of my latest audio adventures, the Our Weekly Highlights podcast, where in episode 70, this was a unique episode because Our Weekly is kind of going through a bit of a, what's the best way to say, a little bit of transition time, I guess, in terms of how we administer the project going forward. And I talked about that in the first half of the episode. I don't really need to belabor it here. Definitely listen if you haven't checked it out. But in the second half, Michael and I just kind of talked about our years of 2021, things we learned, things we want to learn this year. And I don't know how it came up, but I mentioned to him, even when he was asking me about some of the tricks I do for like obtaining feedback for my Shiny apps that I deploy, and I mentioned, hey, I tried this little workflow, putting like a little feedback form in my app and just use the GitHub API to throw it on the issue board when they hit submit. And he was pleasantly surprised by this, and he was very receptive of the idea of trying it out for himself. And then Shannon here definitely gave me a nice retweet about that idea, and thought, hey, why don't we just do a demo of this, whether it's maybe a blog post or frankly well, we're here, we're doing a live stream about it. So so this is what I'm going to call podcast or Twitter driven development, however you want to call it, but that's how I roll here. I love doing things that the community wants to hear about, so that's what we're going to do tonight. Okay, so I didn't forget about the redemption story time with me. Some of this I might have talked about last time if you heard me last time I streamed, but we had a little bit of a situation where we had some developers for a suite of apps that are in this kind of pipeline of analytics. They did a naughty thing. They committed AWS and database credentials in plain text in one of the repositories that I was not in charge of, that they were creating using what I thought were my guidances, and well, they didn't listen apparently. So first step was when my colleague saw this, who is actually smart about these things, alerted me and said, Eric, you might want to have a look at this, and she sent me the link, and sure enough, I can actually demonstrate it here without showing the main thing, but imagine what you're about to see here, except it wasn't a .renviron.example, it was the real thing with a whole mess of credentials here. And so the first step was to literally nuke it out. And what I mean by that is, since the developer, who was, quote, the maintainer of the repo, was out on leave, and apparently she was not the one that actually did it. It was one of their, what I'll call, support people. They were AWOL as well. So at this point, it's like, okay, now we have two choices here. We can either try to be, talk to a whole bunch of people, figure out who did what, or we can just do this ourselves and perform what I'll call Git surgery on it. So the Git surgery was basically find where this happened in the commit history. And guess what? This happened on the initial commit, folks. The first one. So there's really no rolling back from that. So we just said, okay, we just got to nuke the history. So we basically did a reclone of it. I literally deleted my local Git repo of my fork of it. I reinitialized it. I did what you see here. I put it in .r environ.example, and I made sure that the .git ignore would have this in it, which, as you imagine, was not in there before. So, okay, so I nuked it, pushed it up. There is no trace of it in the history anymore. And I did email a couple people about it. And the long story short, this started a chain of reaction of events where they had to reset all the credentials. Big surprise. So they did that. I helped update one of the apps that I'm more involved with where the credentials were grabbed from, and that was a simple operation, stuff like that. No big deal. I could handle it. Well, apparently nobody remembered on the other side of this dev team that it's not just one app that needs updating, it's two more to it. And one of them was the app that I just referenced that had the credentials committed before. So now we have to figure out, okay, how is it deployed? These are deployed to our internal RStudio Connect server, but guess what? For one of these apps, there was not one, but two deployments of it. They're both labeled dev, and nobody really knew which one was the right one. So then we had to figure out, okay, what links are people going to and all that. So that's okay. So then once we discovered that, okay, these credentials need updating, somebody that's taking over for this person went on leave, called me up, and we talked about, okay, well, here's how you update it. I don't have admin access to it, so you all are going to have to do it. So do you have admin access to it? And they reassure me, oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely. And I said, really? Oh, well, then, yeah, here you go. This is how you do it, and call me if you have a problem. They call me about 20 minutes later, and they say, okay, well, I just want to make sure, this other person says, I want to make sure I'm doing this the right way. Can we hop on a little call here? I'm like, yeah, oh, yeah, sure. So I'm watching, and I say, okay, looks like you at least know what's going on. So why don't you show me what you're seeing on your screen when you go to the admin panel? And they go, okay, well, I'll log in. They don't have an account on the server. And I said, well, that's odd. I thought you said you had admin access to it. And it's like, oh, wait. You don't mean the link that people use to view the app? No, I mean the admin link where you can check who has access to the app. You can check if it's like scheduled execution time or things like that. They are looking like a deer in headlights at this point. They don't know what I'm talking about. And I was like, okay, all right. Well, then we got to figure out how to get me as an admin on it to start with, because apparently you're not. So we were able to get with IT about that. And then I said, okay, well, they're very quick about it. I talk about on other streams that pays to make relationships with people that can get stuff done, especially when you deal with IT resources. Like I partner very closely with our, what I'll call our Linux team, to get lots of cool stuff done, and I have their back, they have my back. We're very much cut from the same cloth, if you will, if there's such a phrase as that. So anyway, they were quick about it. I got admin rights to it. I said, okay, how about this? How about you record me doing this so that you can do this for the other app that'll need it? And then we're good. So then they did it and they recorded it. I said, okay, here's what you do. You go to the environment variable section. I did it off screen and I'm like, okay, I hit save. It's like, okay, now you see when I refresh the app, it's not going to crash right away because now the database is getting there. So I said, okay, so just follow that procedure for the other app and let me know if you have any problems. So then they said, okay. And then I get a Teams message about 5 minutes later, and they send me a screenshot with the log of an R console output from the app dashboard saying that the database could not be authenticated. And I said, okay. Please tell me you didn't put any quotes in the environment variable name or values. And they said, nope, we copied it the right way. And I said, okay, looks like I gotta get in on this and try it myself. And then when I tried, I figured I encountered the same error. So I'm like, okay, well, that's really perplexing. Remember earlier, about 10 minutes ago, when I said that there was like an app that had 2 entries of deployment? Well, guess what? They gave me admin rights to the wrong one. There's another one that people are actually using that was actually not deployed from a master or main branch, if you will. It was deployed from a development branch, which should never have made it there in the first place. And they must have done it in some kind of haphazard troubleshooting and forgot to tell me about it. So now we have an app that's not really production, even though they said it was. It's deployed from a dev branch, and it's not even using the most up-to-date code that they did in the main branch without syncing it to the dev branch. So then I said, okay, well, here we go again. Okay, so I wipe out that branch. I make the main one really the main one. And I said, okay, well, this is what the code's going to be based on from this point on. And then I had to get back with the users of this app and said, okay, looks like all this time you've been using the wrong version of it. Here, go to this. And then I said, okay, well, that one works. So I always struggle when I say these things. I probably sound like a big curmudgeon about it, but I've seen this happen so many times that it does kind of rub me a little bit the wrong way when I do tell people to be deliberate about documentation on these things, and not many people listen, especially if they're ones that don't technically work on my team. They're offshore from other vendors. I mean, I'm saying too much already, but whatever. Nobody watches this. So needless to say, we had a meeting today to talk about, okay, how do we prevent this in the future? And then documentation came up, better standards came up. And I remember at some point somebody was saying, yeah, I wonder if we need to put like encoding standards, the thing about security stuff. And I said, well, can I interject here? If people are, quote, software engineers or developers that are helping us with this app, to me, it's kind of common sense you don't put credentials in plain text, version controlled in a repo. And they agree with me. They say, yeah, you shouldn't have to put that in. But whew. So apparently there are going to get some people to reinforce these things. But this has left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, because anybody who works in enterprise know that time is precious between getting your focus time versus like being in meetings and talking to people, establishing, connections or delegating things. There's a lot of admin things in my job. And the last thing I needed was to do a bunch of admin, I should say rescuing of a botched process that should never have been botched in the first place. So that's what I dealt with the past couple of days. So how you doing? Yeah. Oh my goodness, it never ends sometimes. So learning opportunities. I keep telling myself that. What can I do in the future to make sure this doesn't happen on my team? or people I cooperate with, and so I'm beefing up some of my internal stuff as a result. Okay, well, there's your story time for tonight. Yeah, that was a doozy. So for sitting through that, we're gonna actually work on what we talked about is we're gonna start adding a feedback module to shinycal, and I'm gonna start getting my development bits here. And so if you're seeing all these files here and wondering what the heck is this app is written as an R package via the Golem package, because wait for it, once you go Golem you never go back, and Colin Fay agrees with me. All right, so haha, that's for you, Tan. So let's get the R terminal set up, and then get this running. Oh, I need there's a long story behind this flag, but if I set this to true, then it will get the pipeline data. So just make sure this works, make sure I didn't break anything. Okay, yep, showing up here. So our plan is to add another entry or our menu item here for the feedback module. And it's not going to look fancy at first, but we're just going to do enough to get the job done, as they say, get an MVP going that may or may not turn into something more sophisticated. But I think what I want to do tonight is just go through the process of how I built this in the first place. And I will admit I might do a little cheating off screen to look at some example code that I whipped up quickly in my other how should I say, my mobile location, i.e. in the parking lot, waiting for my kid to complete his lesson. I was frantically looking at some example code while I was waiting in there. So you take the opportunities when you can as a parent, and sometimes you never know. Okay, so first step is I did do a little bit of work waiting for the kiddo to sleep to actually get the module set up here, and it's not going to have anything in it, but it's here. So I really need to turn that Linder off. Hold on a second, that's going to bug me. I always get mad when it pings me about the... Okay, we're going to do a little diversion here, because that's bugging me right now. I need to enter our package. Okay, I want to know those options about the trailing white line. It's got to be somewhere in here. I'm going to search for superflu. No, there it is. I want to disable this because I'm tired of it. Oh yeah, that's coming, Unicorn Coder, I promise. Okay, now this, if I set this to null and restart R, it should stop nagging me now. Get rid of it.
What happened?
No,
Oh, stop
it.
it.
Mystery.
Stop it. Okay. Alright. Let's see if this did the trick. Yeah, I think it did. I'm not seeing any nagging of it, so we're gonna open up our app UI. Yep. Okay, good. Oh no, it's still doing it. Come on. Okay. Deal with that later. Okay, so what do we need to do here? Tab bar page. Tab panel. Wait, am I missing something here? No, I'm not missing anything. Calendar, entry, yep. Okay, so we're gonna do it here. Let's get this in here. Title, call this feedback because we're so original. Value, we're just gonna do that in lowercase. And then this is where we'll copy in the module mod feedback, the helper code that very nicely given by Golem's module. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I thought I had disabled it. I'm gonna at some point get that rectified. Okay. Okay, so I think that looks good. And then, oh man, this is really. Sorry, I'm getting flummoxed by this. Oh, is that the white space linter? Oh, okay. I did the wrong one. Okay, okay. Yeah, we're gonna fix this. I am one of those people, and I actually work with somebody who's kind of similar mindset that when something technically is bothering us, we will figure out how to solve it one way or another. So we're gonna throw it in here. This should do the trick. Get out of this. And while we're tweaking things, it is time probably for a little, you know where we're going with this. We're gonna get power mode. All right, we got it. Okay, so now let's get that R in here. Let's see if it still does it. Maybe I have to reopen the file. Let's try that. Okay, well, it's not as bad as before. Okay, well, still a little bit. I'm still learning the linting stuff, so I've used R for this many years. I'm still new to the linting thing, so bear with me on that. Okay. So now this is going to be simply where we put the mod feedback, and then we'll at least have it ran in the app, and then we'll make sure that works well. Okay, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're about to get really knee deep in development here, so we're gonna change it up slightly. Hold on, please. Alright, let's get going with this. Okay, we're on the rockin' mode now. Since we're in power mode, we're gonna really rock out. And if it's too loud, let me know. I think that part's working well. Okay, alright, so let's run this and see. Again, nothing fancy here. We're just going to see feedback, nothing in it, but it's here. Yep, okay, good. And, yeah, my stream never hurt Brock. Okay, okay, time to get going here. So, you'll see me look a little bit to the other side as I tweak this a little bit. But we're just gonna start doing our UI sketching here. Okay, so we got our tag list. Oh, I'm gonna reopen the file. Hold on, because the lintings doesn't take effect until after we reopen it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. The fluid row. And then I'm gonna Alt 12. And then we've called this, do an H2. Feedback. We'll just do the paragraph of it. Use the form below to provide feedback to the author of shinycal directly on the issue tracker. keep it at that for now. Nothing fancy here. Then now we're gonna start doing the inputs. And of course I didn't spell flood flow, but fluid flow. Yeah, let's correct that up here, or else that's gonna go crazy. I did realize I forgot to set up one little thing here on my streaming fanciness, but that should kick in right about. Okay, yep, I got that going. Alright. Alright, back to this. So we're gonna do two things here. I'm gonna do the first column on the left to be the title of the issue. This issue title, and then a cool little enhancement of Golem is that they have a little handy UI function called with red star, which is going to put the text you wrap in that with a little asterisk next to it, so that people really know, oh, this is something you really need to complete. I think that's a nice little touch. So it's not going to have anything to start. But then we're going to have a placeholder. This will look a little different when you're seeing it in the app. Your title. And we'll make sure it takes the full width of that element. Yep. Okay. So now, next column is going to be issue labels. This is where I'm actually about to do something more fancy than I did last time I did this. We'll explain it a little bit. Wait, no, I didn't. Sorry. It's going to be a picker input from Shiny Widgets, one of my favorite ARM packages for Shiny enhancements. And of course, copy paste does not do the indentation well. I still get annoyed by that. And label, we're gonna do this another with red star, and we're gonna say choose one or more labels. And then choices, I'm just gonna do literally something that will get dynamically repopulated, but I need to start it with something. Multiple will be true. That should do it. Yep, okay, we're good there. And then let's see, oh, I don't want the no, I don't want it there. I want it here. We're going to do a new row after this. And this time we're going to take the full column width of Bootstrap, column 12, and we're going to say a text area input, because this is going to be one of those fields where you want a lot of space in there if you want to write a very comprehensive issue. So we'll call this issue description. Label again with red star, because we're not going to take blank issues. I don't do that, even though I do it myself. I don't want other people to do that. Issue description. And again, the value will be nothing to start with. I had to troubleshoot this myself in the past, so this value might have to change. 300%. We'll have to see when it looks like in the app itself. Vowels is 80. Rows, let's do 10. Placeholder, and this is gonna be cool. We're gonna let them do a markdown too. because I do markdown of everything. Why not for my users as well? And there's a resize parameter, which I think means that they can drag this up and down the width of the box. And then that's done. Okay, and then the next row is going to be a simple row. I'll do only 2 columns for it because it's a very simple one. This will be shiny widgets action button. And this is going to be submit issue. Submit, simple label. There's probably a better one to do. I'll just do save as the icon for now. They have different styles in shiny widgets. I like the jelly style. You'll see that in a little bit. Color, green is success because it's the bootstrap coloring scheme. And size, we'll just make it small. SM, okay. That should be it from the UI side. Okay. Now, we always like to check on the app, make sure everything is working fine from the UI side of it.
I hate losing.
It's always good.
On the other side of the screen.
Okay.
It all looks so easy.
Okay, okay. All right. All right. They consider breaking the console errors as well, apparently. Okay. All right, so feedback. Yep, we got our title. Nothing in there other than silly, and then description and submit. Okay, we got that. So that's the easy part, the UI of it. Yeah, we even have Tron errors. There's plenty of goodies that I've been finding lately.
Dumber than advertised.
Oh, I gotta keep...
I hate losing.
Oh, Earthworm Jim makes a second appearance. Okay. Now comes the logic, the server logic of it. And this is where we're gonna now test out the GitHub API. And we're gonna go to Firefox here because we're gonna do a little recap of the package that I want to use for this, and added a link here. This was literally typed while I was waiting for the kiddo to sleep, to give myself a little bit of starting point. The GH package. So this is from Gabor, Sardi, Jenny Bryan, and Hadley from our studio. So I like the package. It is, the key word here is that it is very minimal client. It will not do a lot of hand holding for you, but it'll simply have functions that kind of use the most somewhat raw API of GitHub. And it has really one function, GH, and you put in the endpoint that you want, and then you're kind of good to go after that. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of experimentation on it, but the idea is that I need to do a couple GET requests, maybe one GET request, I should say, and then a put request when they actually put the issue onto the tracker. So I think, yep, so this is the key here, is it needs the GitHub PAT. So I'm gonna have to find a way to do that off screen. I have my methods, as you might imagine. I'll just have to queue that up on the other side, but then once you have that, then you'll be able to authenticate to everything and get that going. Yep. I don't think I need the GitHub API URL environment variable, but I think I do need this, so yeah, that's the third one. Well, actually what Unicorn Coder is talking about is what is going on here? Something kind of bizarre in my setup here. Huh. Okay, never mind. So what Unicorn Code was talking about is that what you're seeing on the stream here is from a display that technically doesn't exist. It's a phantom third display. So I have two main monitors in front of me that you're not technically seeing. So I'm going to do the GitHub stuff on one of those so that I don't pull a silly mistake that I just ranted about for about 15 minutes in our story time. But luckily I think I know where they are. Just have to find the program. And then we will get that in there. So I hope everybody's having a good week so far. We're at Wednesday, we're almost at Friday, and this was a shorter week for me because the kiddos had the day off on Monday, and as did I actually. The work actually takes a work holiday for that, so for Martin Luther King Day, so we did those kind of things, and I think I have one. Okay, so I've got a value here, and I'm gonna put it in. Okay, I gotta go to my off screen. I'm doing this. Shinycal, and then let's paste that at the end. That's the wrong keyboard shortcut. Luckily that didn't do anything crazy. Alright. Now that should take care of it. And then I'm going to go back to our studio now. And restart our session, because that's the only way the PATs or any environment variable changes are reread. If you have to restart your session to make that work. So we're going to do that. Now I need to make sure GH is installed. Oh, it didn't reference it. Do I have GH already? Let's take a look. Are you here, GH? Yes, we are. Okay, we're good. We're good. So we're gonna open up our script that we have as a template for what I'll call the business logic of the app, which of the module, I should say. It's plain right now. We're just going to use this to test GH package. Okay. Then we're going to go back to my cheating of a file, so to speak. And okay. So GH. Let's see this GH token. Yeah, I don't want to do this per se. I was just hoping they had a way to check it out, but okay, never mind. Let's go back to the package doc. We'll just do a very basic query here. In fact, I might be able to, yeah, just copy this code here and just do it for me as a check to make sure it works. For me, this should come up with a lot, because I do have a lot of repos, as they say. Well, a lot of them are forks, though. But... All right, here we go. Oh, well, of course I need to prefix that. Okay, let's see, were there any errors there? Okay, let's see what the response is like. This should be a list of 30. Let's see if we can expand this. Yep. Those are my repos. There's a whole bunch here. Wow. Oh yeah, there's 78 of them, and I think that may be paginated, so you can see it's alphabetical. This apparel play is actually going to be the building blocks of the new Shiny Dev Series website. More on that probably in another stream. I'm making some progress on that. So, okay, so we got that. Yeah, I definitely have over 100. I'm old. So that's step one. We can authenticate to the API. Now let's do the fun stuff. So get this out of here. We're gonna build some functions. You do it as a function, you can test it out later, and you can be able to test it easily and then just fold it into your app. So we are going to do, first function is get issue labels. Not gonna do any, much as the repo. This would be shinycal. We're gonna look at the endpoints of this to figure out the particular endpoint that we want to use. So that track is a little too hard for me. All right, there we go. Let's look at the documentation. Let's see. Issues. Let's see, let's look for labels. Anything about labels here? List labels for a repository. That's what we want. Okay. Get repo. Oh, that's simple enough. Okay, so we're just gonna copy this and then we'll fold it into our testing script. Okay, so the owner is me. And repo is shinycal, if I can spell. Okay, let's give this a try. That was quick. List of 11. Oh, I'm optimistic. And we have it. Bug, documentation, duplicate, enhancement, good first issue. The one I want to see is this. We are going to automatically put this as a label in the issue, on top of what they include in the other dropdown. So anyway, that's important. So good news is we basically got our function ready to go. So yep, all we have to do is owner, our podcast, repo shinycal, and now this was in the list format, so we're gonna have to clean it up, but we'll be in good shape with this. Now, when we looked at that list object, let's look at that again. Each element, what we want is the name. So the way I do this, and maybe others in the chat have better ways, but labels, I'm just gonna do a per map chr. Now I always get the tilde stuff mixed up when I do this, but the verbose way I do this is I do x then I say name, and I just kind of be done with it then. So there's probably a better way to do it. And then I know Tan's about to be like, oh no, 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 there's a better way. Oh, it's a tipple. Oh no, that thing again? Oh, you're right. I know what you're talking about. And it's in this repo probably. Oh, it's in this streamer repo. I know one of them. Streamer data repo. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's just been so long since I worked on it. We're gonna, if you're wondering what the heck is Eric talking about, you're about to find out. So, and of course, Tan beats me too before I could look it up, but I know it's in my streamer data repo. Yep, Tibble and unless wider one. I just gotta memorize that. But Shannon, this is why I love doing the streaming, is that I get help on the fly and I never get this help at work. So people ask me for help at work. I love getting help for a change. So, all right, go back to that. That could be VS Code. Oh, well, yeah. So Eder Kinko, I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right. You're asking a good question. Why am I using VS Code? It's just to kind of try something new, and honestly, for my containerized environment setup with Docker and usually putting in multiple things in one, I would say, overall project, VS Code is very nice to be able to hop between R and on occasion Python, or on occasion even just other Linux stuff or web stuff, and be able to have it all in one place. And the extension ecosystem is just getting better and better. But I do use RStudio every day at work, so it's not like I don't use RStudio. I just like to change it up a little bit. So, but it's a great question. I do get that from time to time. So this, instead of per map, as Tan elegantly pointed out, this can be a simple Tibble. Tibble, and then this will be, X is going to be, issues raw. And then we're gonna, okay, I don't need to separate it out. We're gonna pipe it up. And then this is gonna be tidyr, nest slider with 1. Okay. And then from this is gonna be a data frame, so I'm gonna call this labels df, and then labels, I can type, and then do dplyr poll, labels df, and then I'm gonna say name. This should do it. We will find out. Let's just source it into our environment. Yep. So then let's do git issue labels with no arguments. Oh, silly me. Gotta do the load all first. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll get rid of that later. Okay. And then let's try that again. Okay, I think we got it. Yep, there it is. That's all. Okay, perfect. That was the one I was most nervous about because I never tried that before. So that's an easy one. So now the function I want to make now is going to be called submit issue. Now this is going to have a few arguments here. So we're going to say issue title, this will be mandatory. Issue labels, that's also mandatory. Issue description, that will be mandatory. Repo, just like we had up there, it's a shinycal. And then I'm going to call this add issues. This will be something that we do automatically, and the issue we're going to add is user feedback. Okay. Now we are going to forgiving them, do a little copy pasta, as they say, on some of this. We're gonna put it in. Append the name and date of issues. So we're gonna take the version of the app, the date of it, and I'm gonna configure some text here. And we're gonna use glue to inject certain things. We're going to introduce a few new lines because this is going to be at the very end of the issue. Filed from shinycal version, and this will be version on, and then issue date. That's very straightforward. Pack. You all brought Pack back. So yeah, I mentioned maybe even in a previous stream that I did actually get it to work, albeit it wasn't easy with the work stuff, the day job stuff. But yeah, it was definitely faster when you are installing a whole bunch of things at once. Not sure if my Linux admins would be happy about it, but it did work. Okay, so now we have the end text. We're actually going to update the description, and we're simply going to paste these together. I'm just going to do paste 0 for it. And then end text. Okay, so we got that, and then now I'm going to add additional labels, and then this is simple. Additional labels, the same idea. We're going to append the current labels that the user selected, the add issues, very simple, and then now submit. Yeah, thanks Tan, thanks for joining, and as always you rescue me at the time I need it the most. That's always how we roll here. So issue post. Now we're going to do the GH again. And this time it's going to be, we're going to do glue for this request because we're going to do a post, but we need to inject repos, repo, and then issues. But now we got to put in our issue title. Body is going to be issue description, and then assignee. This is like who you assign the issue to, of course, and that will be me. I'm the owner of it. Labels, issue labels, and I think there's gonna return this. This will be the result of the call, and we'll do a status check on this. And then we will be good to go. Now, I feel like that I'm probably forgetting something, but I think those are the main ones. It's just submit issue, get issue labels, and then now on the server side, we're going to have some fun here. The first step is we want to update dynamically what is available for them to choose here. So that will be, say update issue label choices, and then we're going to say shiny widget. Update picker input. Now I admit I do I always struggle with, do I do the NS on these updates or not? I'm going to do it now, but if it breaks, we know why. I always struggle with this. We got time for another trick of VS Code. If you ever need to have the file viewable in two places, what I like to do is split right. And then you can view the file in both places. So what I want to do is I want to remember, what did I actually call that NS. So, okay, Shannon's got a great question. What is NS? So in Shiny, we're developing what's called a module. And in modules, you need to prefix the ID of elements like a text input, a dropdown, or whatever else with a unique namespace. Otherwise, if you have an input named the same thing twice in Shiny with the same input ID, Shiny gets very mad at you, your app will crash, and you wonder what the heck's going on. So what modules do is it lets me, in theory, have this feedback module with its own unique set of inputs, but then I could put this feedback module in as many times in this app as I want. Maybe I had like 3 repos. I could do this module call 3 times with different repos, and all I have to change is the unique name I give that one call. But then everything in here can stay exactly the same. This is huge for production Shiny app development, because now you can have modules that are like extensions of inputs that you don't want to keep writing that code over and over again. So it's like a supercharged function, but the namespace is the key to make sure it's unique to each of the calls. So awesome question. I will definitely be talking more about modules in depth through various venues this year. I can't say all about that yet, but you'll be hearing about that soon. So Daniel has a good question. Does the production grade Shiny Apps book not use modules? Oh, they use modules for sure. Because Golem, the package that Engineering Production Shiny talks about in depth, because it's from the same authors, these modules are used everywhere in the example apps that they show, like Colin Fay's Hex Sticker or Hex Maker app. Those are all modules, even if they're not being reused across different parts of the app. They just think, like I do, in a sense, that it's a great functional way to develop your apps. So yeah, I feel like I know what you're talking about, Daniel, and I forgot what it is too. It's obviously late, and I haven't. My brain is still not quite with it yet. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, so this is issue labels, and then what we want is we don't want to change the label. Choices. We want to do the choices. And then this is where we're going to take advantage of all that pre-work we just did with the business logic functions and just simply get issue labels. Let me throw that over here just in case. Get this maximized. And then we're gonna do selected as null, and this should just work. Trademark just work. Yes, Absalon. Yeah, West Specific Buddha. Thanks for joining. You're right. Absalon has slightly different approach. I think they're both obviously good approaches. I have not used their approach yet in a project yet, but I'm certainly keeping in tune with the things they're building. So welcome to the stream. We're building a feedback module for my Shiny app, and hopefully make it work the first time. So we got the issues updated in real time. Now comes the part where we want to build the server logic, the observe event of the button press. So what did I call that? I called that over here. Submit issue. So process Submit. Click. And I do observe events for all of these. This is going to be simply input. Submit issue. And we're going to start doing our checks. It's like perform and already with checks. Now there's gonna be a little repetition here. I should probably functionalize it out. Oh, you're in the parking lot. I love it. I kind of get what you're saying. Yeah, I love it. Is truthy, and this will be the issue title. And then now we're gonna use shiny widgets again. Shiny. Oh, I can't spell widgets right. Send sweet alert. I've used this a lot of times, so I almost have it memorized. Oops. And then text. Please enter a title for issue. Type is error. And then, yep, that's that. And then we return null, which means that the function will exit out gracefully with nothing there, as if the click didn't do anything bad. Yeah, is truthy. Yeah, I know. I like their name choices. So we're gonna repeat this a couple times. Like I said, I should make a function out of it. Too lazy tonight. We need to do it for both the title, the labels, and the description. What's nice is we can reuse the is truthy function. Just change the message. Let's choose at least one label, and then this is the description. Please enter an issue description. Okay, I think then that's all of our checks. And if they get through all three here, then we actually submit the issue. We have to get through the three gates, if you will, to do it, and then we're gonna simply execute that. How do I feel like I just screwed up something? Hold on. So the spacing's blowing me. Alright. Process submit. Okay. Submit. I should return the res submit issue. And this is issue title, or input issue title, I should say. Input to labels, input to description, and everything else is default, so you don't need to do anything else there. And then the last nicety is you want to tell the user that it actually went through. Although I do need to kind of check something. Also, yeah, Shannon got a good question. Are the issues anonymous? So here's the interesting thing. The API is acting on my behalf. So in essence, it's going to look like I personally filed the issue. So in essence, it is anonymous in the sense that it's going to look like it came from me, even though it's technically whoever in the world is using the app. I thought about, should I let a field about, like, if you wish to be contacted by the author, enter your GitHub ID or something. That may be something for the future, but for now I'm going to keep it as if it's just a general user out there I'm helping them with the process of filing the issue. But I'll give that some thought. I like that could go either way. And then so now what I like to do here is I want to show information. This will be simply another send suite alert here. And then this is going to be issue submitted. And then we say text. Say thank you for your feedback on shinycal. Your issue has been submitted to the shinycal GitHub issue tracker. Now we'll just leave it at that. Okay. Good. And then the type here, we don't want it to show error. We want to show it to like happy days, so success. And then now, the other nicety that I like to do is I want to reset the foreign input so that if they want to do another one, they don't have to like delete it themselves. So this is easy with Shiny. You do update text input for the now actually I just realized I probably don't need the NS in front of it, so we're gonna take that out of the other one. Value equal that. Whoops. Yeah, text area input. This is issue description. Yep. And then I believe I have one more. Yep, it's going to be the same thing that we did above. Mouse. When we updated the labels dynamically when the app kicked off. But first, let's get rid of no, wrong keys, wrong keyboard. Doesn't call that without the namespace. There are some esoteric reasons why you don't need the NS for this part of it, and I can't remember why. I'll have to explain that at some point later this year. So I don't want to change the choices, I just want to change what's selected. I think that's all I technically need. There's probably some air checking I need to do for the real robust version of it. But that should do it. Alright, here goes nothing. We're gonna give it a shot. What did I break? We're about to find out. Here we go. Yep. All sub lists and choices must be named. Okay, line 71. What did we break? Oh, that doesn't really help with the lines part, but all sub lists and so it must be happening. Oh, what am I doing? Parentheses get you every time, folks. They get you every single time. Yes, Shao Kahn, they do get you every time. Oh, stop it, Nelson. Just stop it. All right. So I think that should take care of it. All right, close this up. No, we're getting a different error now. Okay. We're gonna have to go in the debugger on this one, folks. Question is where did it? I mean that line is not helpful, but mod feedback line 75, so it is up here. Okay, so oh, maybe I need this in like a. I need this somewhere else, I think. I need to put this somewhere. I think I need to send an observer or something. Maybe that's what's going on. I can't just do it like this. Or can it? Oh, there was a trick I did for like tricking it to be like at the first time you visit a page. What was it? Oh, that's gonna bother me. But, unless I do an observe with... No, that seems icky. That seems icky. There's gotta be something where I know I'm visiting the app the first time. I know I've done this, but I forgot how. I got shiny input. It's a tab, R, something like that. Or is it observe, app, quick, shiny, something like that? Oh, I guess I could do a... there's gotta be something better than that, but... Let's see... Oh, I know what I can do. I know what I can do. Oh, you're right. That may have been it all along, Tan. Jesus, you're still here, and you probably just solved the issue again. I am missing a session argument. Yes, yes, and I probably did here as well. Update, yep. Session, my gosh, are you kidding me? Oh, I know. I'm a horrible live coder, as you all know. Okay. That probably was it all along. Yep.
Whoa, that'll leave a mark.
Yep, it'll leave a mark, all right. I'll stop it, Bob. Okay. Yep, that was it. All right, let me open this in Firefox, and we're gonna do dark mode on it for. Yep. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now here's the moment of truth. They're all here. Now one little thing I gotta do is I don't want user feedback to show up here, but yeah. Anyway, so testing feedback from live stream. Well, you know, it's my show. I get to do what I want. So I'm gonna do the issue label as stream. Yeah. Guess what? I am submitting. Let me zoom in on this a little bit in case anybody wants it. Okay. I'm submitting this issue live on Twitch. I am crazy, I know. Alright. Here we go. Will this work? And it will! Yay! Okay, yeah, that's how it is. Yep. Now, what did I do wrong? It says API error 404 message not found. Okay, well. So the issue... Did I? Oh, to the repo spec. Oh, yes. Yes, did I? Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so I think what you meant. Post repo. Yeah, okay, there must be something I screwed up here. I'm looking at my cheating, if you will, my other... Huh. To the repo spec, but I shouldn't have to. Unless I changed some since the example code I got is. Yeah, I think something changed since the last time I did this, so I agree with you, Tan. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, owner. Let's see. I do want to double check the actual API spec. Not that I don't trust you, but I am gonna double check that. Issues. Create an issue. Yep, you're exactly right. My template code did not have it because something broke last time, so. Yeah, no, you were exactly right. Yep. Okay, Ike, yes, I know. Okay, alright, let's try this again. We're gonna close the other tab where shinycal was. We will try this again. For anybody else that's new here, every time I live code on these, it practically never works right the first time. So that is nothing new with how I roll here. Okay. We're gonna try this again. New issue from Twitch. We're gonna do stream. And submitting this issue. Second attempt. Live on Twitch. Okay, here goes nothing. Another error. Okay, alright. What do we do now? Object owner not found. What? Oh. Okay. So I'm screwing this up. I don't need to do glue for this. In fact, they kind of take care of it for you, where they have get, and then you can do this yourself. So yeah, that's my fault. Oh, I copied the wrong thing, didn't I? I copied the wrong thing. No, of course I screwed it up. Okay. I copied the entire wrong thing. No, what I should do... No, I know what I did. Sorry, I'm jumping around here. I should just define it here. It doesn't need to be here. It's gonna grab it, and then... Actually, repo is already in this. Yeah, repo. It's just owner should be here. Alright. Yeah, I know what I have to do. Okay, there we go. Yep. That was silly. Okay. Yeah, this should take care of it. I keep saying that every time I'm wrong, but...
That is ridiculous.
Oh my. Yes, Hank Hill, it is ridiculous sometimes with my live coding skills. Alright. It's gonna work one way or another. We will make sure of it. I should just have this as like automated text now. New issue on screen. Yep, stream. And trying to enter this from the shinycal app. Third try live on Twitch. Okay, now question is, did it really go there? We're about to find out. Let's go to here. Issues. Hey, there it is, folks. There it is. There it is. New issue. It says I'm trying to earn this shinycal from the shinycal app. Third try on Twitch. And it says filed from shinycal version 0.4 on 2022-120. We have ourselves a feedback module, folks. And did I do anything super fancy here? Not really. No, it was just more about you leverage APIs to your advantage, and now it'll make the user experience a lot better for shinycal. So now it's time to commit, which I should have done earlier. I should have committed early and often, but I got in the flow of things, and we're going to go ahead and do that here. We're going to say, we're going to split this up individually, and helper feedback functions with GH API. Got that in. And we're gonna commit these three here. Polish. Here's a feedback module live on stream. All right. And this all can be ignored for next time. I'm just gonna say make winter less noisy. I'm gonna get bugged if I don't do that. And add my fancy sound setup. That is here and here. Yep. Okay. Pushing that up now. Yeah, feedback loop. Yeah, I don't need endless loops on this, otherwise GitHub might revoke all my repos for API throttling. But okay, let's make sure my commits went there. Oh yeah, it's on my new branch, new dev setup branch. We should update the version of the app, shall we? And we'll be done. We are getting almost done here. So where's my description file? Call this version 8. Not that I have real fancy versioning schemes right now. It's just gotta get it done. So inst config's a YAML file where we also have this in. I should automate that too, but not yet. And then we have a news file, I believe. Yep. We'll bump that here. My cursor will actually work. shinycal 0.8 and a feedback shiny module so users can easily, let's get rid of this stuff that's annoying me, report issues with using the app directly on GitHub via the H package. Credit to Shannon. I need your GitHub ID at some point. I will figure that out off stream. For the idea. Oh, there, you're right on top of it. Cool. Yep, let's put you in. And Pelegi. All right. Nice. Nice. Okay. That means we got all of our metadata set up here. Let's go back. Description, news, config, version, and update news. And now, let's do a redeployment, folks. Been a while since I've done it. Hopefully it all still works, but I have a fancy deploy script for it. We only need to run this. If we're not on master, this will go to a dev version. Yep, this should work. So let's give it a shot. This will deploy to a dev version of the app. Did I not have the R console? Oh, I'm still running the app. Duh. Okay. I always forget to close the app before I run this stuff. Let's try that again, shall we? Yeah, scrolling sensitive here. All right. Okay, we're bundling it up now. Okay, so what I want to do in the future is, obviously I've done this for one app.
Who's ready for story time with our
Yeah, it's right on time, yeah. So yeah, we got story time for the future, right? So where I see this going is it's one thing to do this on my apps individually. Every single app I do, I copy this code, I paste it in, much like I did tonight. And by the way, Daniel, now that I have Jesse's recent stream, I'm going to use her more recent intro for that. It's even more hilarious than what I just had there. So I think this little mini module, if you will, this is ripe pickings for a package, right? Because imagine you're creating a Shiny app, and even if you're not an expert in modules, imagine I give you a package that's available on like my GitHub or CRAN that says like mod underscore feedback or whatever, and it has same defaults for like the title, grab the issue labels dynamically, and then the issue description, and maybe some other stuff, I don't know. But imagine you just load that into your app easily. I think that's a win. It's even a win for me personally because I don't have to keep copy pasting this code all the time. But also, if you want to really get fancy with this, we all know that GitHub is not the only game in town for version control online. We have GitLab, we have Bitbucket, and if we have the business logic function that I set up here, or the set of business logic functions actually push to the API via these here. Imagine we have equivalents of all three of these, or both of these, for GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. They all have API packages. They all have R packages that tie with the API already. I've used the GitLab one. Why not do it for all three and then let that be like a parameter in the main function to say like which service are you using? And then if they say GitHub, you do these. If you do GitLab, you do a different version. If you do Bitbucket, you do a different version. So needless to say, I think I found my next streaming project in parallel with the Shiny Learning project, which I'm still obviously committed to doing. But I think this is a UX thing that could really help people out. So story time is, as usual, when I do this once and I do it again, I take Hadley's advice and I say either make a function out of it, or better yet, make a package out of it. I made a module out of it. So it's just taking it to the next level. So there's going to be some interesting dev journeys on that to make sure I'm doing the API stuff correctly and I'm doing best practices with it. But as usual, it's a good way to learn. So it looks like our deployment went through. So we're actually going to check out this and make sure it renders on our studio or Shiny Apps IO. Now I have a bad feeling about something. Let's see. Oh, it works. Oh, good. What I was concerned about is would it respect my environment variable, and apparently it does. So I should have not been concerned about that because I do the Twitch thing on here, so, or some of the Twitch thing on here. So, okay. Well, I guess to be safe, testing from dev deployment. Let's see. If this doesn't work, then I'll feel sad, but, you know, we'll see. From the deployed dev version of the app. Cross our fingers, cross our fingers. Nope. Okay. Well, there's obviously more to this story than I expected. So somehow it got the labels, but it didn't get the posting, because I think posting requires the PAT. Maybe the getting of the labels does not. Well, let's see if we can get the verbatim error message on here. This shouldn't, I won't be sharing anything confidential here. I'm just going to look at the logs of the app. Okay. Let's just see what the error message was. I probably can't fix it tonight, but you know, we still made good progress. I'm not going to get too sad about it. Logs. Yeah, so whenever you see this kind of stuff, that usually means it didn't authenticate to the API. So, okay, so that's a homework for me to figure out how to get the environment stuff set up in this deployment. Okay, well, you know, it couldn't be perfect, but you know, those are the things you deal with in production stuff. So that's why we test on dev, folks. You test this stuff on dev before you go to prod. So I'm not going to muck up the production version of shinycal. Now I know what to iterate on with the dev version. So anyway, you know, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's not perfect, but I'm okay. Good. I'm so satisfied. We made good progress. It's on the GitHub repo of how to do it, and this stream is a nice long tutorial about it. This is a question for all of you that are actually still here. I don't know if I can expect people to sit through like an hour and a half or almost 2 hours stream of me just mucking away at this. Should I make a more short video of this? And certainly any feedback's welcome on that. Now that I've been through it, kind of like this raw take on it. Once I solve this deployment thing, I'll know what I have to do next time. But anyway, I'll let you all send me feedback either way on Twitter or even on the repo itself. I could care less how it comes. I mean, yeah, any feedback's appreciated. So, okay, well, let's get ready to close up. It's getting late here. I have an early morning, get the kiddos off to school. So, yeah, I agree, Daniel. The short videos are what people are going to go for the most. So maybe I need to start doing these anyway for the OBS stuff. So maybe I will do it for this, and I'll just do a version of the app that I did before all this as like a revert back and try it out. So anyway, yep. So, but yeah, that was a quick course in making a new module, tying with the GitHub API, and doing something to make the user experience for using the app much easier. So it was fun. You know, you got to see that I live up to my billing. Nothing ever works correctly the first time when I build it, but it's how you learn from it. It's how you troubleshoot, and you learn better for next time. So if you don't know where to find me, I am on Twitter at the Rcast. You see on the little scroll magic there, Shiny Developer Series on YouTube. Had a recent interview I released with Kate Saunders all the way from Australia on some of the cool work she did with the Corona Sweeper app, which was a lot of fun to look at, and also fun to dive into both the math and the design philosophy that she utilized in the making of the app. So that was a lot of great conversation. Another release is coming up Is it going to be next week? Yeah, maybe next week or the week after. Another interview that I conducted, a multi-person interview with another Shiny Contest showcase. And yeah, more stuff coming along in the Shiny ecosystem. Some of you may have saw that Epsilon is going to be running a Shiny conference later in spring, and I'm one of the speakers of it, so I'm going to have to start coming up with a talk for that, but I'm looking forward to it. So I never turn down a chance to talk about cool Shiny stuff. So all right, well, you all have a wonderful night. I'm too tired to raid anybody, but thanks everybody that did raid me earlier. And other than the audio fiasco, we still had a lot of fun. So all right, take care, everybody. We will see you next time. And yeah, have a good night. And hope your coding adventures are smooth the rest of your week. So bye-bye, everybody.